Well, Halloween is just around the corner, and we want you to be safe out there. We want you to be inclusive, and here to tell us how you can do just that is Miriam Pearl. She is the owner and recipe developer of Delicious Without Gluten. Sorry,
That's
I just had all of a sudden I was gone there, Miriam, for a second. How are you?
I'm great.
It's great to see you again. I'm great, thank you.
Nice
and this is personal for you as well, right? Because you have a story to share with our viewers about your daughter.
Sure.
Tell me about your daughter.
So I have a daughter who has peanut allergy, and I also have 2 kids with celiac disease, which is why I started Delicious Without Gluten and why I always speak about people with allergies and trying to help the community. And so it's an experience that when they were 5 and 6 years old and they learned that they had celiac disease, we went trick-or-treating, and it was really difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So at this time, though, things are a lot easier. There's a lot more help, a lot more awareness, and I'm trying to spread this awareness.
I love it. Well, and you just pointed out to me before we came on, you said, I'm wearing teal, and you're wearing teal for a particular reason. Tell us why.
So we have the Teal Pumpkin Project, which started in 2014 by FAIR, which is food allergy research and education.
Okay.
And that's in the States. And we have one here in Canada called Food Allergy Canada.
Okay.
And the fair came out with a Teal Pumpkin Project, meaning that any house that would have things that were good for people with allergies, they would have a teal sign or a teal pumpkin outside their door. And Canada sort of did a little take on it, and now it's called Shine a Light, and you have to put a light bulb or a teal light bulb outside your porch to say that you are safe for people with allergies.
What a great idea.
And that kind of means that either you're offering food that is nut-free, peanut-free, gluten-free options, right, or vegan or whatever, or some kids they don't even eat sugar, honestly.
Right.
So there's a lot of different allergies here in Canada. There's over 600,000 children who have at least one allergy.
Oh, wow.
So being inclusive means going to stores and getting little glow things and little tattoos and things so that instead of candy, they can also partake in the festivities.
Right. Well, let's get some advice. First of all, let's start with trick-or-treaters. Advice for trick-or-treaters that you would give to the young people out there.
So first of all, if you have an allergy, I don't know if you're going how young you are or how old you are, but you're going to either go with a parent or by yourself. You'll need an EpiPen. You have to make sure your EpiPen is up to date, and not to scare anyone, but like to just review a little bit about what it is, right? What you have to do, how to do it.
Great idea.
So that's the first thing. Second thing is don't eat while you're trick-or-treating.
I was just going to ask you about that.
If you really need to eat, and you're a parent who's always like parents like us with kids with allergies always have snacks on us. So we come prepared with safe snacks in case that happens, but definitely a necessity to like not touch the bag, because when the food comes back, when the candy comes back, you have to wipe everything down. Because it could be cross-contaminated. You could have somebody eating a peanut butter cup, and all of a sudden, there's a little disaster.
Point. Yeah, you don't know even like the people giving out the candy, right? Maybe they've eaten something, and they,
they
then
could be
the
having this big party, and they're eating like peanut something or other. So you never know.
That's a great point.
So we do that. There's something called switch.
Switch. Okay, what is that? Try to say that 5 times fast at home.
It's a bit like the tooth fairy.
Okay.
Like you basically, if you have candy that you can't have, you give it to your parents, and then in the morning you get this, surprise either save candy or maybe a toy that you've been wanting.
What a great idea.
So that's kind of interesting too.
And it's a win-win for the parents, because you end up getting treats too.
I didn't do that. My kids were old enough. We used to hang out with other friends, and we used to trade at the end of the night.
Okay.
So we split everything up, and whatever my kids could eat, they would keep it, and everything that they couldn't eat, they would trade with their friends.
I remember doing that. Well, I have 3 sisters and a brother, so it was, it was a little different back then, right? It was more like favorites. My favorite is a Crunchy Bar, and here's, a Snickers and that kind of thing. So everything you brought here, am I right? Is everything here allergen-free?
Almost.
Okay.
Almost.
Okay.
There's just one thing that isn't. What I did actually is I have on my website, we did a little ebook, and inside I went shopping in like Walmarts and Costco's and grocery stores, a little around everywhere.
Okay.
And they all have around the same type of products that they're selling. And what I did was I have a little, I'll just show you.
Sure.
Just one page.
There you
You'll
go.
see it has the different things. It's gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, and it tells you exactly what's what.
Okay.
So it is a little bit helpful for what's actually out there.
It's like a great
as
guide.
opposed to just like this random list.
Right.
The Celiac Association in Canada has a list of gluten-free candy.
Okay.
However, on their website. However, it doesn't exclude people who have allergies to soy, egg,
Great
and all,
point.
all
Yeah.
other kinds of things.
Yeah.
There's some interesting also things that I found that I wasn't even aware of. Have you ever seen this before? Sour raisins.
No, I remember the raisins themselves.
know.
My mom used to give it in our lunch pack,
So-
the little red packages of them.
We have there's a big awareness for getting away from tons and tons of sugar.
Right.
And it's going to things that are a little bit more healthy. These are actually raisins. That's how
Like
it's sweetened.
different flavored raisins?
Yeah, they actually
Okay.
flavor, they sour them.
Okay.
So,
not a ton of sugar or anything?
No, it's the first ingredient is golden raisins.
Wow.
Then sunflower oil.
That's unusual.
Yeah, it is.
Right,
And
'cause
there's no
sugar's in
sugar.
everything.
No,
It's in
not with sugar.
everything.
It's concentrated vegetable juice and whatever color.
Okay, there you
so
go.
So that was just an interesting find. Also, I found that there were a lot more items that have logos on them. So one thing that's very, very important, if you're going to buy something and it doesn't have anything, like jelly beans are usually pretty okay. It's like just sugar water, right?
Yeah.
So, and color. But it doesn't have a label on the outside.
Right.
So the idea is to find something with a label. Because the label could
I
be
see what
on
you mean,
the-
because it could be on the full package, but on the
Yes.
little candies that you're handing
Exactly.
out from the package, it doesn't have anything, so parents don't know.
Exactly.
Right away.
So
okay.
it will usually have, there's a lot more things that have, let's say, peanut allergy. The ingredient deck now always tells you whether or not it contains something.
Okay.
So if it's going to contain sulfites or it's going to contain soy or, dairy or whatever, it'll be on the label.
One of the safest things to do, right, is make treats yourself, right? And
Yes.
I think a lot of families have decided, you know what, we're not going out anymore. We're going to have a party. We're going to invite the neighborhood kids to our place, and we're going to do something fun and inclusive.
Yes.
You're coming back after the
Yes,
break,
I am.
right? And you're going to share some recipe ideas for
Yes.
some homemade treats.
Yes, I am.
All right, okay. And you and I will decorate. We're going to have a little
Absolutely.
bit of fun.
It's time to have fun.
Miriam Pearl from Delicious Without Gluten. She'll be back in just a moment. I'm just looking over at the kitchen here. We are going to have some fun. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be back with Miriam to show you some great ideas to create some of those beautiful treats yourself.